Are we working? If my audio plays up again, let me know. Hi everyone, this is Jackie M. I'm playing around with Smile Time because it feeds into Facebook Live. This is kind of like a mini lesson on Belacan. I covered a little bit of it during my live broadcast last Friday. And Noah, I've got my son Noah here with me. And Belacan, a shrimp paste. Now I mentioned during my broadcast, and that's kind of a little bit of a bugbear of mine, the fact that oftentimes English translations of Asian ingredients may not necessarily convey the full meaning of what they are, okay? And sometimes it can cause confusion. Now, shrimp paste, I'm going to get to the whole confusion thing in a bit, but I just want to explain to you a couple of different varieties of Belacan. And essentially, this is what I used during my broadcast the other day, Serbot Belacan, which underneath in English basically says Belacan powder. No, we don't. Belacan powder is a shrimp paste powder. It just saves me having to go through the trouble of toasting or pan frying my Belacan, my shrimp paste. Thanks. My shrimp paste until it crumbles into this state, right? The Belacan, I'm just gonna now. I did mention during my broadcast that this is actually an ingredient I stumbled upon just a few years ago. So it's not something that was known to me back in Malaysia. It's just a case of the evolution of Malaysian manufacturing and that sort of stuff. A lot of convenience products on stage. Yeah. Fabulous. Good. Now, you're more likely to find, I'm just going to dismiss that. Hopefully, I don't have any problems this time around. Okay, now, you're more likely to find something called, it's called Belacan, but it looks like a block, right? What I came across at the grocery store the other day was the fact that that Belacan block was located in a totally different aisle to this Belacan powder, which goes to tell you that a lot of Asian grocery stores may have a whole abundance of products, but they don't necessarily know that they are related or what to do with them, sort of thing. So you need to go in with some, I guess, some sense of what you're after. Now, Belacan powder. The other thing I want to point out is that Southeast Asia, in Southeast Asia, we use a lot of similar ingredients or identical ingredients under different names, okay? And so if you can't find a Malaysian Belacan, if you happen to wander into a part of Sydney that has a lot of Indonesians, yeah, I do. Asian grocery stores, I mentioned during one of my broadcasts before, the fact that I think Asia is such a big part of the world that people don't necessarily appreciate the nuances between the different kind of like ethnicities and that sort of stuff. So it really depends on who runs the Asian grocery store. If it's run by someone from China, you are probably you may struggle to find ingredients that you need for your Southeast Asian cooking, that you need for your Malaysian cooking and that sort of stuff, right? So I generally tell people if they're shopping for Malaysian recipes and that sort of stuff, to look for grocery stores run by Southeast Asians. I've never come across an Asian grocery store that's run by a Malaysian per se, not here in Sydney anyway. But a lot of Vietnamese run Asian grocery stores, and they're a good bet, okay, because a lot of the ingredients are a crossover to Malaysian cooking. Now, in Indonesia, Belacan is called terasi, and I've got the picture up there on screen there. Also in blocks, it's just called different name, but same thing. Okay, yeah, exactly. Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Indonesian. I go into a Korean store and I get really lost because I really know very, very little about Korean cooking. Well, exactly, that's the thing. Thai would be probably, you may have better luck finding Thai ingredients. So that is an option as well. Now, in Thailand, this is what they use. This is their version of shrimp paste, and it comes in jars, and you spoon it out. It's kind of moussey. Don't try and toast this because it will just make a big mess of your kitchen. This is not toastable. This is like I said, it's a different consistency. It's good for using in curry paste and that sort of stuff. Once you cook it up, it doesn't matter. But essentially, it's not something that you can use straight out of a jar and eat it as such. You do need to cook it, which is why it's useful in curry paste, but it's not so useful if you're making a raw belacan chili sauce or something like that. Okay, that you need to get the Malaysian variety and toast it and essentially cook it, and then yeah. Otherwise, if you're using it in a sambal or something, you do need to cook it. Whereas in Malaysia, there are some sambals that aren't cooked. I mean, I'm sure there are in Thailand as well. The other thing I want to show you, I came across this online. Now, I mentioned, I'm just going to get rid of the Thai shrimp paste. Okay, like I said, Thai ingredients you may have better luck getting hold of, because Thai food is so common here in Australia and in lots of parts of the world now. Now, like I said, serbuk belacan is what I use, belacan powder. I found essentially what is an equivalent online, which is Indonesian belacan powder, except this is more granular, and it's called terasi udang. Don't forget, in Indonesian, belacan is called terasi. So udang just means shrimp, okay? So terasi udang, and it says there on the label, it says siap pakai, which means it's ready to use. So essentially use it the same thing as you would serbuk belacan. So these are ones to keep an eye on. And I want to quickly show you this one over here. Now, belacan, usually translated into English as shrimp paste. Okay, it probably says shrimp paste here somewhere, and it says shrimp paste on these blocks over here. Okay, so it will say belacan and it will say shrimp paste in English. And unfortunately, in English, shrimp paste does not necessarily convey exactly what it is you need, because this one here is also called shrimp paste, right? Okay, you see shrimp paste, but this is completely different. This is also from Malaysia, also from Penang. It always sounds impressive when someone declares that this is from Penang, because everyone knows Penang food and everyone loves Penang food. Okay, now this is like a molasses sort of thing. So if you can see that, it's very, very treacly. And also it has a fair bit of sweetness in it as well. It's useful for what we call rojak, Chinese rojak, or Penang rojak, which is a fruit salad, and it's drenched with this. And also in Penang, when they have rice rolls, okay, these steamed rice rolls, they use this as well. Okay, the Penangites use this in their cooking, use it as part of the sauce. And also they use it in Penang asam laksa, and its sweetness counteracts the sourness in the Penang asam laksa sauce. And Penang asam laksa, for those who don't know, is completely different to the laksa that most Westerners know, which is Penang asam laksa has no coconut milk in it, and it's like a sour clear broth, right? Similar, I hate to say similar because people are going to rage at me, but it's almost reminiscent of a tom yum soup, okay, in terms of its flavor profile. So this shrimp paste, the way you tell the difference between that and that shrimp paste is that instead of belacan on the back, it says petis udang, okay? Petis udang, it will tell you that this is not belacan. Petis udang means essentially shrimp paste, just a different thing. So there you go. I hope this kind of like helps give you an idea as to what to look out for as Asian grocery stores. I'm going to cover more about Asian ingredients over the course of my series, so keep an eye out for it. If you haven't already signed up for my series, go to I was going to give you the URL, but it's a really long link. But go to my Facebook page, the Jackie M Food, and there'll be links there everywhere. And I will see you next time, or this Friday. Don't forget, this Friday is my next broadcast. Thank you, guys. I'll catch you later.